All right, so getting ready for a big interview, huh? Secondary school music teacher this time.
That's right.
And we've got your deep dive prepped using all the info from RoleCatcher. We're talking career guides, interview guides,
Nice.
even some AI stuff to help you really nail those answers.
Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
It's more than just knowing your scales, right? You
Right.
really got to show them that you are like the maestro of the classroom and the curriculum.
Exactly.
You got this.
So let's just start with a really quick overview of what this job actually entails.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide really breaks it down well. You're not just teaching music, you're designing curriculum,
Right.
incorporating tech, collaborating with other teachers.
It's like conducting a whole orchestra of learning experiences for these kids.
Yeah, and keeping those teenage instruments in tune, so to speak.
Ooh.
Classroom management is key.
Absolutely. Now, before we jump into the interview questions,
Yeah.
let's talk about RoleCatcher's AI for a second.
Yeah.
This thing is seriously cool.
Yeah.
You know how every school has its own kind of vibe?
Yeah.
This AI analyzes the job description and the school's online presence to help you tailor your answers
Wow.
to what they're specifically looking for.
It's like having a backstage pass to their expectations.
Oh, yeah, no, right.
So how does this AI magic work in practice?
Okay, so say they're looking for someone who is really strong on tech integration.
Right.
The AI can actually scan the school's website for keywords related to their tech initiatives.
Okay.
And then suggest ways to tailor your answer to highlight your relevant skills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Okay. So let's dive into some common music teacher interview questions using all the insights from RoleCatcher.
All right.
First up, tell us about your previous teaching experience.
Okay.
Seems pretty basic.
Yeah.
What are they really getting at here?
I think they're looking for a story that showcases that you can handle the demands of this specific role. Don't just list every job you've ever had.
Right.
Think of a situation that demonstrates the skills they're emphasizing in that job description.
So, for example, if the description emphasizes collaboration,
Yes,
you could talk about a time you co-taught a unit with another teacher,
that's a great idea.
highlighting the challenges and the successes, of course.
Exactly. And quantify your achievements whenever possible. Did student engagement increase?
Right.
Did you implement a new program that boosted performance scores?
Yeah.
Hard numbers really make your story more impactful.
Oh, for sure. Great point. Now, on to question 2. How do you incorporate technology into your music lessons?
Ooh,
Ding, ding, ding.
big one.
Technology is huge in education these days.
It's only getting bigger.
They want to hear that you are tech savvy.
Right. So don't just say you use technology. Give them a specific example.
Okay.
Did you use a digital audio workstation to let students record and edit their own compositions?
Right.
Or maybe you found a cool app that helps teach music theory, but in a gamified way.
Ooh, I like that.
Show them you're using tech intentionally
Yes.
to enhance learning.
And don't forget about accessibility.
Oh, right.
You could mention using adaptive music software for students with disabilities.
Yes. Yes.
That shows that you're thinking about reaching all learners.
Excellent point. Now, the next question is about assessment. How do you assess student progress?
Okay.
It's not just about grades, right? You're showing them that you understand different ways to measure learning.
So beyond tests and quizzes, what are some other methods you might mention?
Consider using a portfolio approach where students showcase their best work throughout the semester.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This not only demonstrates their progress, but also allows them to reflect on their own learning.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
It shows you're thinking outside the traditional testing box.
Totally. And remember, always tie your assessment methods back to how they inform your teaching. Do you use exit tickets to gauge understanding and adjust your lesson plans accordingly?
Right.
Mention that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's tackle a question that's really at the heart of teaching.
All right.
How do you differentiate your music lessons for different learning styles and abilities?
That's a good one.
Every student learns so differently, so how do you reach them all?
This is where you shine as a master of adapting your teaching.
Okay.
Think about the different ways that students learn: visually, auditorily, kinesthetically. Do you offer a variety of learning activities to cater to those different styles?
Yeah. For example, some students might thrive on creating visual representations of musical concepts,
Absolutely.
while others might connect better through listening activities, or even movement-based exercises.
Exactly. And don't forget about offering different levels of support.
Oh, right.
Some students might need scaffolding to grasp a concept, while others might be ready for more challenging extension activities.
Right. It's all about meeting them where they're at and helping them grow. Now, can you give me a real-life example of a time when you successfully differentiated your teaching for a specific student?
Let's say you have a student who is struggling with rhythm.
Okay.
You could create a personalized drumming activity that uses visual cues and repetition
Oh, wow.
to help them master the beat.
Yeah.
It shows you're willing to go the extra mile to support individual needs.
That's a perfect example. It's specific, it's actionable, and it shows that you're really dedicated to student success.
And remember, the RoleCatcher AI can help you tailor this answer to the specific school
Right.
by analyzing their mission statement and values. Do they emphasize individualized learning?
Yeah.
Make sure to hit that point home.
Okay, next question. How do you incorporate music history and culture into your lessons?
I like this one.
Music isn't created in a vacuum, so they want to know that you understand the context.
Right. Think about how you connect the dots between historical periods, cultural influences,
Right.
and the music itself. Do you use primary sources like composer letters or period reviews?
Yeah.
Do you show documentaries or videos of live performances to
Yeah.
kind of bring the music to life?
You could even talk about a hypothetical field trip to a museum with a musical instrument exhibit.
Oh, I like that.
It shows you're thinking creatively about bringing music history to life.
That's great. It demonstrates that you're not just teaching notes on a page, you're teaching a story,
Yeah.
a cultural journey.
Okay, let's wrap up this first section with a question about classroom management.
All right.
Can you describe your approach to managing disruptive behavior?
Okay.
Now, this one can feel tricky, but it's really about showing them that you can create a positive and productive learning environment.
Right. It starts with building relationships and establishing clear expectations from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a system for positive reinforcement?
Right.
How do you address disruptions calmly and respectfully
Yeah.
while maintaining those boundaries?
Yeah, they want to hear that you're proactive, not reactive.
It's ghastly.
And that you can handle those tough situations with a cool head.
And don't be afraid to mention that you're open to collaborating with colleagues or administrators if needed.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It shows you're a team player and committed to finding solutions.
Great point. Now, before we move on to some more specific questions tailored to this particular role,
Okay.
let's take a quick breather and remind ourselves that RoleCatcher's AI is there to help us every step of the way.
Absolutely. We've covered some solid strategies for tackling these common questions, but the AI can give you that extra edge by helping you fine-tune your answers to match the school's specific priorities.
Yeah.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Okay, so you've got the foundation, you understand the role, you've got some strategies for those general questions, and you've got AI on your side. Feeling good.
I hope so, because in part 2, we're going to dive into some more nuanced questions that really get to the heart of what it means to be a successful secondary school music teacher.
Okay.
Stay tuned. All right, so let's keep this interview prep momentum going. In part 1, we tackled some of those broader questions you might encounter.
Right.
But now we're diving into some more specific scenarios that you might face in your music teacher interview.
Okay, sounds good. What kind of curveballs should we be ready for?
Well, one question you might hear is, can you describe a time when you had to adapt your teaching methods to accommodate a diverse group of students?
Okay.
They're looking for evidence that you can tailor your approach to meet different needs.
So it's all about showcasing your flexibility and that you don't have a one-size-fits-all teaching style.
Exactly. Think of a specific example from your past experience where you had to adapt to a challenging situation.
Okay.
Maybe you had a student with a physical disability that made it difficult to play certain instruments.
Right.
How did you modify the activity so that they could participate?
Or perhaps you had a student who was new to the country and was unfamiliar with Western music.
Yeah.
How did you bridge that cultural gap and help them connect with the material?
Those are perfect examples. And remember, the more specific you can be, the better. Don't just say, I differentiated my instruction.
Right.
Walk them through the steps you took, the resources you used, and the positive outcomes that you achieved.
And speaking of positive outcomes, if you can quantify those results, even better.
Oh, absolutely.
Did the students' grades improve? Did their engagement in class increase? Those details can really paint a picture of your effectiveness as a teacher.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about keeping those students engaged.
Okay.
A common question is, how do you encourage student participation and engagement in your music classes?
Right.
This one's all about demonstrating your passion and your ability to create a fun and inclusive learning environment.
So beyond just saying, I make music fun, what are some strategies we can share?
Think about what motivates your students.
Yeah.
Do they thrive on performance opportunities?
Right.
Do they love creating their own music? Use those interests to your advantage. Incorporate interactive activities, games, technology.
Yeah.
Think outside that traditional classroom setup.
You could mention using a digital audio workstation to let students create their own soundtracks for a school project.
Yes.
Or maybe you have a strategy for using rhythm games to teach music theory concepts.
Great ideas. And don't forget the power of a positive classroom environment. When students feel safe to take risks and make mistakes, they're more likely to participate and learn.
Okay, let's switch gears to a question that might feel a little more daunting.
Okay.
Can you describe your approach to managing disruptive behavior in your music classes? Classroom management is a crucial skill,
It is.
and they want to know that you can handle those challenging moments.
Right. And this isn't about being authoritarian.
Right.
It's about creating a structured and respectful learning environment where everyone feels safe and supported.
So how do we strike that balance between being firm and being approachable?
It starts with building relationships with your students.
Mhm.
Get to know them, understand their individual needs, and foster a sense of community in the classroom.
And be proactive. Establish clear rules and procedures from day one
Yes.
and consistently reinforce those expectations.
Exactly. And when disruptive behavior does occur, address it calmly and respectfully, redirecting the student's behavior without getting into a power struggle.
You could even mention a specific strategy you use, like offering choices to give students a sense of agency in the situation.
That's a great point. It shows you're thoughtful about your approach and that you're not just reacting emotionally.
Right.
And don't forget, you can always reach out to colleagues or administrators for support if needed.
Right.
It shows you're a team player and not afraid to ask for help.
All right. Let's shift our focus outward with this next question.
Okay.
How do you collaborate with other teachers and staff to integrate music into the overall school curriculum? This one's about demonstrating your ability to think beyond your own classroom and see music as a valuable part of a holistic education.
This is where you can really showcase your creativity and your commitment to the school community as a whole.
Right.
Have you ever collaborated with a history teacher to create a unit on music from a particular historical period?
Or maybe you worked with the drama teacher to create a musical performance that incorporates student-composed music.
Exactly. Those are great examples of how music can enrich other subject areas and vice versa.
Yeah.
And don't forget about collaborating with the librarian, the art teacher, even the PE teacher.
The possibilities are endless when you start thinking about music as a language that can connect with so many other disciplines.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on to our final section,
Okay.
I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI one more time.
Okay.
We talked earlier about how it can help you tailor your answers to a specific job,
Right.
but it can also do some pretty amazing things when it comes to analyzing the school's website and social media.
Okay. How does that help us ace this interview?
Remember, you want to show the interviewer that you've done your homework and that you're genuinely interested in this particular school.
Right.
The AI can scan the school's online presence for keywords related to their mission, their values, their specific programs.
So, for example, if the school emphasizes community involvement, we can weave that into our answers.
Exactly. You can mention your experience leading a school choir that performs at local nursing homes, or your passion for bringing music education to underserved communities.
Right.
It shows you're aligned with their values and that you're not just looking for any teaching job, you're looking for this teaching job.
I'm loving how this AI is like having a secret weapon in our interview arsenal.
I know, right?
It's giving us the intel we need to make a lasting impression.
Absolutely. And in our final part, we'll tie everything together and leave you with some inspiring thoughts to carry with you into that interview room.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive. We unpacked the role, tackled those tricky interview questions, and even got a glimpse of how RoleCatcher's AI can give you a serious edge in your job search.
Sure.
You've got the knowledge, the strategies,
Right.
and the tech on your side.
Yeah,
Now it's all about bringing your authentic self to that interview.
absolutely.
So before we wrap up, let's take a moment to kind of zoom out and look at the big picture.
Okay.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide highlights some really exciting paths that this job can lead to.
It's not just a job, it's a career with the potential for growth.
Right.
You could move into leadership positions, maybe become a department head, or even a principal,
Oh, wow.
or specialize in a specific area of music education.
Right.
Early childhood, music technology, composition.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many options.
So many.
And never underestimate the power of continuous learning.
That's true.
Attending conferences, joining professional organizations, even pursuing advanced degrees.
Right.
These all contribute to a fulfilling career journey.
Yeah. Like being a lifelong student of music, which is pretty awesome if you ask me.
Absolutely. The learning never stops.
Right.
Now, before we send you off to conquer that interview,
Yes.
we want to leave you with one final thought.
Ooh. Something to ponder as you prepare to step into this role.
Think about what kind of music teacher you want to be.
Okay.
What's your unique teaching style? What impact do you want to have on your students?
Because it's not just about teaching music theory or getting kids to play the right notes.
No.
It's about igniting a passion for music that will stay with them long after they leave your classroom.
Imagine yourself in that classroom connecting with your students through the power of music,
Yeah.
inspiring them, challenging them, and helping them discover the joy of creating and expressing themselves.
Remember, you have something special to offer.
Yeah, you do.
So go out there, be confident, be authentic, and let your passion shine through.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI is there to support you every step of the way.
Best of luck with your interview. We're rooting for you.